Good day all, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about electrical inspections and condition reports on your residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. How to wire a new residential construction. Now, locally in your area, you should have a local inspection authority that will usually do the inspections on the electrical work that is done, or if you're a consumer or homeowner that's having electrical work done, there's usually an inspection authority that's involved. So your electrician will pull the permits, the necessary permits, and they will have the inspection authority come in. So what they'll do is they'll come in and give a report of how the electrical work has been done, whether it's satisfactory or whether there are any deficiencies. These deficiencies usually need to be cleared up or fixed up before the electrical inspection will pass its final inspection. So usually what we do is when we are doing, say, a commercial property, we will get what's called a rough-in inspection. So basically we'll go in during the beginning of the stages and rough the wiring in with our electrical boxes, whether that be done in armored cable, whether that be done in NMD. We'll run the wires back to the point of distribution or source and we'll rough them into the individual boxes. After that's done, we'll get what's called a cover-up or a rough-in inspection. Now the inspection authority will come in and do a quick walkthrough. They'll look at what we've done. They'll look for things like proper box mounting, proper wire sizing, and certain code rules. And then they will give a cover-up inspection, or what we call a cover-up inspection, which gives the contractor permission to close all the walls in and complete the project. After that, we will come back in, usually after the first coat of paint. We'll power up all the devices, any light fixtures, exit signs, things like that, and then we will call for a final electrical inspection. Now with commercial, the final electrical inspection usually consists of a half-hour walkthrough. The inspector will go through in fine detail. We'll have to supply him with a measure report. So we have to measure from ground to neutral for each individual conductor. And then he will go through to make sure there's no faults and then give us our final inspection, which is usually needed for occupancy of the commercial building. Having said that, the same rules are very similar to residential. If you're a consumer and you're purchasing a home, usually what will happen is if you're having any upgrades done, your electrician will pull a permit to have renovations done and get the inspector to come in and inspect. Now there are a few different types in residential. Basically with the residential new construction, you're looking at a rough-in inspection, of course, of the wire in the boxes, and then you'll get your cover up so the contractor can put the drywall up, and then we'll come back and put the devices on, similar to commercial, and then they'll come in and do a final inspection. Now, usually somewhere in this process, we get what's called a construction hookup, so the utility will actually hook up the service so that the contractor can have power to work to finish the project. And what they'll do is they'll need it for things like heat or fans to dry the crack fill or drywall so they can work through it. The process, usually they'll have a temporary service at the beginning of the project, but once you're into this portion of the project, a temporary service is not usually going to power up big construction heaters, so we'll get the main service powered up. At the end of the project, we put our devices on, we do our mega report, put on all our arc faults and our GFCI protection, and then the inspector will come in and he will do his final inspection. That's on new construction. So if you're doing renovations and you're doing upgrades and the wires are being fished in the walls, obviously the electrical inspection authority that's doing the condition report can't see the wires in the walls, so they kind of take our word for it. Sometimes they'll check the dates on the wire. They'll open up some device boxes and have a look, but it's usually only one inspection on that. In addition, if you're buying or selling a home, a lot of times we'll be required to do preliminary inspections on the property for the buyer or the seller. But in addition to that, we do sometimes get into and do get the inspection authority involved at a fee, of course. they'll come in and write up a condition report as per what we say on the homeowner's buyer or seller policy, or however they're going to do with the transaction of the sale. This sometimes is used as a bargaining gimmick for the buyer or the seller, depending on how they want it to go. But basically, it gives the conditions of what is in the home or the commercial property and what needs to be done electrically to bring it up to code. So that's pretty much it. It's usually a sheet and I can't show you for liability purposes, but it's usually a sheet from your inspection authority with company letterhead on it. States the address, doesn't necessarily have to state the homeowner's or the property owner's name. It states what the characteristics of the property are as far as electrical, what it has, what is there, and what is not to code or what needs to be corrected as per deficiencies. And then that's usually used, or how we do an inspection report. A lot of times, like I say, we need these to get our final cut on the pay or final draw when we're doing new homes. So we need that inspection report so that the homeowner can have it, so they can get their occupancy permit to move into their house. Anyway, just a short video on this today. Hope you liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.